Hey guys, welcome back to Nerds and Nutrition, and welcome to this channel if you're new. My name is Leslie and welcome to my 1-year dreadlock update and timeline. So just over a year ago I started my dreadlocks by backcombing, and I would like to give you guys my dreadlock timeline in pictures. Month by month you can see a lot of the changes that my hair went through, and then I'll also insert some footage from my actual 1-year mark. I had originally already recorded this 1-year dreadlock update, but guys, it was not happening, so I scrapped it. Fortunately, I did keep that original footage so you can at least still see what my hair was at 1 year. So without further ado, let's get into the dreadlock timeline. Then I'll insert that 1-year dreadlock update footage for you, and then we'll come back here and I would like to talk about some of the changes that my hair has gone through in the last month. See you soon. So my hair has gone through a lot of changes over the last 13 months. Just over a year ago, a friend had helped me to initially put in a set of dreads through backcombing, but the sections really weren't that well done, and after a month and a half I had brushed out all of the sections and restarted the process. So I had my hair properly sectioned by a friend that has done our hair for years, and then my mom and I backcombed every single section. At the time I think there were only maybe 33, 34 sections. I think last I counted I have 35 dreads, so yeah. A lot of the sections had fallen out after that initial backcombing. I decided that I didn't want to have an overly manicured look to my dreadlocks. I didn't want to chance any breakage of my hair if I did any kind of crocheting, so I just decided that I wanted a very low maintenance hairstyle, but really, I have found dreadlocks to be beautiful since I was in middle school, and I let someone talk me out of them way back then. And yeah, I just decided a couple a couple years ago that I wanted to try it, but I didn't jump on it right away. I watched all kinds of YouTube videos, especially Lazy Dreads and Meowana, just because I love their personalities. I think they're really fun to watch, and they had some really informative videos on dreadlocks, the dreadlocking process, what to expect, and I did plenty of research before I decided to start this journey. So in the last month, I have noticed even more tightening of my dreads and a lot more shrinkage. Really, I haven't experienced a drastic amount of shrinkage. My hair, when I started the dreadlock process, was maybe like here-ish, and with the back combing, it did shrink some. They just got really poofy and fat for a little bit. They were actually really like poofy to sleep on at first. It was a lot of fun. And then I have noticed some more of my loops and lumps and bumps calming down. They're really starting to suck up into the body of the dread. Okay, let me see, is this, yes. All right, this guy, for the longest time, it was only dreaded from like here to here, and this is just nice and solid. It's round minus a couple very small lumps that are, try and get my fingers out of the way, they're really calming down and they're starting to suck up into that dread. But for the longest time, the rest of this length was completely undreaded. And it was just long, loose, flowing hair. And then sometime last month, it decided to start locking up finally. And it started locking up in two places. These used to be really crazy loops, and they have since really started to suck up into themselves. And this is that crazy loop. I will make sure that I insert a picture of it, because I got a picture of it once the hair started to catch, and it's really cool to see how it is tightening up even further. I still have a ton of loose hair, particularly behind my ears. If you guys can see in here, there's a bunch of loose hair, and I'll turn around, hopefully you guys can see. Ton of loose hair. And then this dread here, if you can see, there's a dread that was pulling in that tiny bit of loose hair, and it was actually so uncomfortable. It was starting to pull at the base of my neck. So probably about a week and a half ago, these two dreads in the back were like locked together, but there was a big gaping hole in the middle. So I just I got pissed one day and ripped them apart. And I know that I did break a lot of hairs doing that, but fortunately the dreads at the base of my neck, they took a while to dread up, and they're still so loose in a sense that, you know, even if I did break hairs, which yeah, obviously I did, there's still plenty of time. They're gonna do their things. They'll, you know, the hair will keep growing, and they'll eventually grow into a nearby dread, or yeah, I'm not too worried about it. It's fortunately in a place where you just don't see it a whole lot. Okay, let's see. All right, this guy's really weird. This guy used to have 3 really big loops and has since really, I mean, the loops have just kind of been eaten up, and you'll see maybe 3, if I can get this to work, like 3 very small loops. But really what fascinates me about this dread is there's this little thing of hair sticking out at the bottom, And I think what had happened is this bit of hair started to get sucked up, and then it fell out of the dread and never got sucked back in. So really the body of this dread is all nice and tight and locked up, and this little tuft of hair is just kind of sticking out at the end. Let me see if I can get in closer so you guys could see how this is like just sticking out of the end. Yeah. So that's weird. Okay, let me show you this monster in the back. This guy always likes to stick out. Let me just get the rest of my hair out of the way. This dude. Yeah. He's at the side of my head. And I think the reason that he sticks out so much is if you can see this section of hair, let me get this out of the way. This section of hair really probably should have been split into 2 dreadlocks. It's a little more rectangular than my other sections, so it is a bit of a flatter dread. God, guys, I'm so directionally challenged. I don't know which way to turn for the camera. This dread just turned out to be a little flatter than the others, but I really don't care. I didn't want all of my dreads to be the same thickness. I didn't want them to be, like I said before, very manicured. And I like the fact that all of my dreads have their own character. I think it gives a more dynamic look, if you will. But yeah, this guy cracks me up because he's always sticking out, and he doesn't want to yet lay down very well. But yeah, I think it's pretty funny. So sometimes in videos you may see a dread sticking out or some crazy lumps and bumps, and that's okay. They'll calm down after a while. I wouldn't fret about it too much if you're on your own dreadlock journey. Just let your hair do what it's going to do. You know, I kind of feel like going into this dreadlock journey, I wanted to give my hair the freedom to do whatever it wanted to do, because in my life I have really been in control of so many aspects, and frankly I didn't want, and I feel like I don't need to have that level of control over my hair. It's hair. It keeps my head warm. Yeah, I'm grateful for it. But regardless, I just didn't want to try and force it to do something that it didn't want to do. And so far, this is what my hair has decided to do after 13 months. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love how rough I can be with my hair now that they're really solid. I mean, this is great. Oh, it's so much fun. You can be really rough with your hair after it reaches a certain point, and it's nice to have that kind of freedom, knowing that it's not fragile. And let's face it, there are ropes of hair. It's pretty incredible. A couple things that my dreadlock journey has taught me so far are patience and acceptance. You absolutely have to be patient with this process. It really is a process, and it's a journey. My hair was undreaded for the first 27, 28 years of my life, and I couldn't expect it to look like dreadlocks overnight. As is, it's been 13 months and I still have so much loose hair. A lot of people talk about the paintbrush tips. Guys, I don't know. I can't even call these paintbrush tips. Like, I don't know, they're like waterfall tips. I don't know what the hell you would call this, but I got a little more than just paintbrush tips. Like, you know, this guy, yeah, all that is still undreaded. I love it. Really, these loose tips, for the time being, still give somewhat of a softer, feminine look, which I really like. I know eventually they'll get sucked up or whatever. I'm not too worried about it. I'm loving it so far. But patience, absolutely. You have to be patient with this process, and acceptance. You're going to have to go through the ugly phase. Maybe you're already in your ugly phase right now with your dreadlocks, but really embrace it, because once your dreadlocks are fully matured and they're really solid, then they'll continue to grow. They'll still have their own character, but you may not have as many of those really fun loops, lumps, and bumps. And for me, I really like that. I really enjoyed that phase. There were plenty of days where I was tired of the lumps and the bumps, because maybe I was going somewhere and I wanted to look a little nicer and my hair was kind of crazy. But I mean, it's still just very temporary. It's a phase that your hair will go through. Just stick it out and know that it really is temporary. There's plenty of things that you can do to cover up your hair, to dress it up if you have to. So don't worry about it too much. Alright guys, that's about it for today. I really appreciate you coming and checking out my 1-year dreadlock update / timeline, and I'll probably try to do another dreadlock update for you guys in the next few months, just to let you know and let you see what changes my hair has gone through in the next couple months. So if you have any questions for me, please leave them down below, and please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more nerds in nutrition and dreadlock updates. Take care of yourselves, guys, and remember, we are changing culture one plate at a time.